Hey everybody. Today is Epilepsy Awareness Day. So as you can tell, we're wearing purple. Grace is sporting purple. 1 out of 26 people in the U.S. will develop epilepsy sometime in their life period. That could be, your mom, your dad, your aunt, uncle, your siblings, your child. 1/3 of people diagnosed with epilepsy have uncontrollable seizures because the treatments are not working. Whether the medicine is not staying level in their system, or they just haven't found the right medicine yet, or it could be that they can't afford their medicine, so they're not able to take it like they're supposed to. Because unfortunately, in our healthcare system, seizure medicine is not covered nowhere near what it should be. Patients are still having to pay out of the pocket so much money for their seizure medicine, which leads to people not taking their seizure medicine. 6 out of 10 cases of epilepsy are from unknown causes. So doctors don't really know why it's happening. It's just something that happens. 65 million people around the world have epilepsy. 3 million just in the U.S. have it. 150,000 new cases of epilepsy are reported each year in the U.S. So it is a growing epidemic. Nobody knows where it's coming from. It just happens. Now, if you do have a loved one that has epilepsy, main thing is, when they have their seizure, don't panic. 9 times out of 10, 100% of people that have seen somebody having a seizure automatically go into panic mode. Now, we've been married 7 years, and yes, my first year of marriage, every time he had one, I would panic. But I mean, there's no need to panic if you know what you need to do for them. If somebody, a loved one or somebody, if you might be out at a store, somebody's having a seizure. Main thing is, do not let them lay on their backs. Roll them onto their sides. And no, the old wives' tale they'll swallow their tongue. It's impossible. They will not swallow their tongues. What happens is their tongue does slide to the back of their throat and it blocks their airway, but they cannot swallow it. Now, keep in mind, you need to time how long the seizures last, because when you call for paramedics, that's the first thing they're going to ask you, is how long did the seizure last? So you need to time it, whether it lasts 1 to 2 minutes or up to 20 minutes. That's how they know how bad the seizure is. Also, absolutely do not put anything in the patient's mouth. They will bite your finger, and they will bite it off because they have no control. So do not place anything in their mouth. Not even a bite stick, nothing. Roll them onto their side and make sure they're, safe. They're not banging their head on anything that could harm them. That they're not flinging their arms into something sharp. Just like with an infant, you want to make sure when they're playing, they're not hitting anything. So the same thing goes for somebody who's having an epileptic seizure. They are flailing their arms, they're kicking, they may be foaming at the mouth. You just want to make sure that person is safe as possible. At the beginning of the video, you'll see him taking his medication. This is what he goes through every morning and every night, just so he can function. If he doesn't take his medicine, his seizures do get out of control. Even sometimes on the medication, his seizures get out of control. It all depends on how his body is accepting the medication. Now, that doesn't stop him from leading an everyday life. He takes care of her 24/7. I work. He stays home with her. And as long as he takes his medication, he's able to function. Yes, it is a disability, but it's not something to stop you. You shouldn't use that as an excuse. Oh, I can't do anything because I have seizures. I mean, yes, it is a disability, but it's not something that's going to stop you from living your life to its fullest. Yes, I trust him 100% staying home with her. He does have triggers that, he'll taste something strange, he'll smell something strange, or he'll just get a feeling that he doesn't feel good. And that's when he puts her down. He sits down. And what happens, happens. And then, now after the seizure, it does take sometimes hours, sometimes days, for the person to come back to normal. Because that is due to the brain rebooting. Because when you have a seizure, it's just what it says. Your brain is seizing. Your memory, your speech, things are not going to be the same right after the seizure. So don't get upset with somebody if, an hour or so after they're still not responding to you like you should think they should be responding. It just takes time for the brain to reboot. But just keep in mind, people with epilepsy are still people. They're not strange. They're not weird. Even though sometimes he is a little weird, but that's just him. Just keep in mind, just be aware that, what everybody else goes through, it's their struggles. And we all have them. Ours might not be the same, but we still have the same struggles.
What do you look for?
What do I look for? When you meet somebody, they're having a seizure in public, look for a medical ID bracelet, or if they don't have a bracelet on, they may have a dog tag or necklace that has a medallion on it that says what their diagnosis is, what medication they're on, and should be an emergency contact sometimes on there, that if something happens. Also, check, if they're unresponsive, if you can't find anything, check their wallets. There may be a medical ID in their wallet. Because some people don't like to wear them because they are bulky and they do drive people crazy.
Great. Thank you.
Say, tell everybody thank you. Say, yay.
Say bye-bye.
Say, give me your guitar.
Say bye-bye.
Say, bye-bye.
Say hit the like button.
Hit like and subscribe. Bye-bye. So Daddy, climb over there and turn it off.